We are live. There we are. Let's see how everything working? Yep, everything should be working. Good, 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 good. All right, everybody. Welcome to today's Fireside Chat. I hope everybody is having a very blessed day. And today, everything's going pretty quick, so we're gonna do this quickly so everybody can get over to Tony's channel so we can celebrate Casey and wrapping up the telethon for raising money for Casey, which Carlos put, I mean, not Carlos, but Wavo put the link here to go to the Give, Send, Go that we got set up for Casey Care. And I have highlighted it so everybody can see it. There we go.
And for the record, as of this notice stop, as Tony is fond of saying, the Give, Send, Go is currently standing at $1,200.
Yay!
Yay!
In the last hour, there have been $200 donations. So,
yep. So if you guys can give, please do. Today we're gonna, since we're doing a short fireside chat, we're gonna be talking about the Paramount Warner Brothers merger. Whataburger standing up for one of their employees who got bullied. A Florida woman who gave her 1-year-old child meth. And we might even be doing a short mini dive into what's been going on in Iran and what brought us to this point. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So first up, you want to do... Yeah, let's
before we get started, can I ask you a question, Richard?
Sure, go right ahead.
What is your favorite Looney Tunes character?
Oh my God.
That's a tough question.
Marvin,
I'm wondering if it's Yosemite Sam, because your position on the panel, you're quite literally in the hot seat. You're right above the fire. Your biscuits are burning.
Well, yeah, considering the fact I am the American patriot, so I've got to be on the hot seat.
Yes.
But yes, Yosemite Sam is one of my favorites, though my all-time favorite Looney Tune character is Marvin the Martian.
Ah, okay. Well, for dinner, are you having a rump roast?
Actually, I'm having salad tonight, hopefully. But BOTE Chris, hi, what you up to? Welcome for making it. Let's go ahead and touch on the Whataburger headquarters standing up for one of its employees. Wavo, since you're the one who brought this one to my attention, you want to cover it?
Absolutely.
All right, sweet.
So the details that I have of the story. There's a gentleman, a employee of a Whataburger, who guy was running on a hard time, barely making ends meet already. He took to the internet to make a little extra money by taking Whataburger products and food and reviewing them online to not only make a little bit of money, but also draw more customers for the company.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of his coworkers, including management, started bullying him, and he started receiving threats of violence. He reported it to management, whereupon he was fired.
No, wait. Wasn't he also reading Bible verses while he was doing his food?
Yes.
Now,
he was also reading Bible verses and also praying as well.
And that's what Whataburger is all about. Last I heard, that it's like Chick-fil-A, but more so.
Yep.
Except they screwed up my order last time we ate there.
And
I've never
corporate,
been to Whataburger, but I've been told that they got some good food.
Oh, they do. That's why I was so upset.
but corporate heard about his story, and the specific restaurant that he worked at has been shut down. And most of the people working there have been fired.
That's horrible.
Well, the people that got fired, if I remember right, are the ones who was bullying the dude.
Okay,
Yep.
that's good.
Okay, so that means we need this.
Golf clap. Golf clap.
Because to me, that's trash being taken out.
Yep. Finally, you see a corporate entity doing something good, which is incredibly rare these days.
Yep. Because from when I read that story, that's what I was thinking. Wait a minute, Whataburger was every time I'd hear about Whataburger, it was people being upset that they put Bible verses on their wrappings and things of this nature. And
Does Whataburger do that too, or is that just? Are you getting confused with In-N-Out? I know In-N-Out does it.
No, I think that's a Whataburger thing.
because I could have swore it was Whataburger that did that. That's why whenever they were saying that this Byron guy was doing his food reviews, he was also, hi Alice Lovely, he was also doing Bible verses and prayers. And I was like, wait a minute, this is Whataburger. You know, they're a Christian establishment. And then when he was said that he was getting bullied by his coworkers and the manager there because of it. And then when he complained, they fired him. And I was like, whoa, that's okay.
Okay. I just looked it up. Whataburger does not put the Bible verses on their menu or packaging. That is In-N-Out, though.
Oh, that is In-N-Out. Okay, so I was wrong.
It is In-N-Out, yes.
All right, so I was wrong. I'm sorry.
But yes,
Some Whataburger locations may display One Nation Under God signs, but they do not use religious text on their food packaging.
Oh, okay. Well,
In-N-Out does, though. I know them. They're delicious.
now I've heard of In-N-Out. I've never been to one.
See, and I heard
Oh,
In-N-Out
they're
Whataburger.
do what?
In-N-Out's better than Whataburger. I've only had Whataburger a couple times, but In-N-Out's a Southern California thing, and they are moving their headquarters here to Tennessee, about an hour away from me. And it's awesome.
Way.
We did have a Whataburger up in the plaza right across from me, but they closed.
See, we just got one kind of towards Richards, and it was not the same as the Whataburger we had out in Tulsa.
Now, since we're talking fast food places, my favorite fast food place outside of Rally's is Jack in the Box.
Yeah, no, that Jack's lost its title for me a long time ago. I like Raising Cane's.
I make the best copycat Raising Cane sauce. Yes.
I have never had
Oh.
that.
I want the recipe.
Okay. I'll send it.
Is that the chicken place?
I'll dip my corn into it.
Yeah, it's the chicken place, Richard.
Okay. Now, the reason why I like Jack in the Box is the fact that they've got the sourdough jack. And it's about the only place I've been able to find a decent sourdough burger. And Rally
See,
Burgers.
Go
I
ahead.
fell
Sorry.
in love with Rally Burgers while I was in the Navy, and I mean, the Rally Burger was so fracking huge it wasn't even funny. I don't know if they still make their burgers that big now or not.
No, nobody makes it that big anymore. Even In-N-Out shrunk their burgers by like 30%.
Oh, see why
It sucks when you're a big fat guy.
Now, did they
Don't make me turn the camera on, show my big belly.
did they lower the prices to reflect that?
No, the prices for In-N-Out for the most part kind of stayed the same for a long time, and the burger just kind of started getting smaller, and then eventually the prices started raising. So
That, my friend, is what we call shrinkflation.
exactly. Thank you, Joe Biden.
I prefer Donald Trump. Thank you very much.
Now look, I wasn't calling you Joe Biden, but I can call you Donald Trump if you'd like.
Now,
I prefer to be called by if you're going to refer to me by the name of a hated person, at least refer to me by the name of someone who has at least one functioning brain cell.
Well, that's why I called you Joe Biden. He's got at least one breathing. It takes up all the CPU power that brain cell has. It's just one, and that's all he can do. Sometimes he uses it to sniff kids.
Now, I have long held the opinion, the standpoint that all of humanity is collectively fighting over one brain cell, and that's being fought over by the elite. Why do
I
you
could
think
probably agree with you on that.
Why do you think the rest of the world is so batshit insane?
Hey, I've got at least 3 functioning brain cells. At least 3.
Now,
That's why I'm so good.
I have looked at this for a while and thought about this a lot of why the world is so screwed up. And being a historian, I can look back at some stuff and I'm like going, if I talk about this on YouTube, odds are I would lose my YouTube channel like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to go there.
Yep. Save it for
I am not a historian, but I am hysterical.
Yes,
that's certainly no lie.
But it's but like my mom told me, it's not just your looks. So I also don't bathe, so that way the smell is bad too. That's definitely some funk.
You may be a piece of crap. You may be a piece of crap, but you're a piece of crap with a heart of gold and a sense of humor.
And the gold is actually just corn, yellow corn. It's delicious, secondhand corn.
Alice knew you were going to say that too.
Yep.
Yes.
Golden corn. It's always good.
Just don't tell Harvey that we have the corn, because he'll come and steal it and put it in his book.
Yep. All right. Next up is the Paramount Warner Brothers merger that was announced, that Netflix backed out of trying to buy Warner Brothers. And of course, we all know about all the lefty crazies losing their shit over this. Which I think's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because Paramount being owned by the Ellises is buying Warner Brothers. And the left is losing their shit, saying, oh, they're going to undo all the stuff that we were able to push through at DC Comics that completely destroyed the comic book industry. They're going to undo it and turn it into a MAGA propaganda machine, to which I'm gobsmacked by the stupidity of this, because these are the same people that have allowed something like as woke as Starfleet Academy to go out. And
well, they also put out a comic book with Superman's son being gay. So
Yeah, that was DC Comics, man.
They also tried
Yes.
to turn Superman himself gay at one point. They also tried to
Yes.
turn him black at one point, but even the black community didn't like that.
Yep.
well, at least with the black Superman, it made sense. They just needed to change a letter, so Man of Steel went from STEAL to STEEL to STEAL.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah, yes, but you're laughing, so it's funny.
Now,
Oh,
I
God.
have a real story about something that actually happened today at work.
Go for it.
Going off on a little tangent. So I have this new coworker. He's been with us a couple of weeks. He's black. A couple of months ago, somebody handed us a couple of fake $50 bills, a couple of counterfeit $50 bills. And this kid has been eyeballing these two fake $50 bills. And I heard him say today that he wanted to get those two $50 bills so that he could use them and try to pass them off. I looked at him and I said, way to play up the stereotype.
Just let him. Just ask him how well that worked for George Floyd.
All right. I am sending you something, Wavo, on Discord right quick.
But yeah, going off of
And also the black community refers to 50s as fitties. That's why they call it 50 cent.
Yeah.
So
But,
speaking about Paramount, you want to talk about a company that's really stupid that sleeps on products and properties that they have? Let me show you this. Do you know what that is?
that's a Jeep. No, that's
No.
that's a
That looks like a
Volkswagen.
Klugelwagen.
That's a lot of fun.
That's a Volkswagen thing.
Yeah, that's a Klugelwagen.
Well, no, we're American. We don't call it the Kubel. Do you know what this is?
Looks like
I
an old
do.
rock
It's
car.
it's an extremely messy garage. Yes, I know. These are two of the cars from MTV's Pimp My Ride.
Ooh.
So this is where Paramount is stupid because they just sit on the property license for Pimp My Ride and they don't bring it back.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to have my human go ahead and write a letter to Paramount and be like, hey, Ellisons, don't be retarded. Give me money.
Do me a favor. Let me look at that Klugelwagen again.
It's a thing. We're not in Germany.
You gotta call it the thing.
I could. And you know what? I'd play that angle up, and when you fix it up, put a bunch of John Carpenter, put a bunch of imagery on it from John Carpenter's The Thing.
Well, as you can see, it's snake themed, so John Carpenter doesn't really fit in. Maybe with Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken.
Oh, yeah. Snake Plissken would work. That is so sweet, man. I almost was able to buy one of those for a couple of $100s, but unfortunately, I could not get help raising the money at that time.
So this is a snake TV that they put in for the snakes to go in the tank in the back. And whatever plays on the PlayStation up front also plays on this little monitor.
Wait, there's a PlayStation in the front?
There's a PlayStation, yes, because it's a Volkswagen. It's an old Volkswagen, so it's like a Beetle. So the engine's in the back. So there's a TV and a PlayStation 2 under the hood.
Ooh.
Party in the front.
Right now, actually, the TV's in there, but and then This is one of the few cars that actually got an engine upgrade. They swapped out the like 50 horsepower engine and put in a 200 horsepower dual carbureted turboed engine.
Oh, sweet.
So this one got done awesomely. This one didn't. So this one will be great when I'm done with it. But for right now, it's crap.
How much would you pay for one of those? I need a new car. Seriously, my piece of crap is on its last legs.
Trust me, you don't want either of these.
What
In order to get into one of these, this one couldn't pass smog in California. It had glow in the dark UFO graphics that still kind of work just about as good as they did back then, which is not very good. The interior, this car couldn't pass smog in California and basically got abandoned after about a year. They stripped most of the cool stuff out of it, and now it's a mess. And so someone grabbed onto the headliner and yanked it down. So the headliner is yanked way down and janky, but you can literally see the seam. It's 2 bolts of fabric that was just run down. This right here was a projector screen. It's a piece of plexiglass with a film on it. And then over there's a little stand where you'd have a little projector aim up at it. But you can see from it's janky as all hell.
Yeah.
Damn,
So
dude.
that will all get swapped out with something that's good. This is still the original rims from the show. And as you can tell, it's also the original tires.
Yeah, the
They're
tires
more
look
than a little bit rotten.
The tires
they're
look
rotten.
like crap.
Yes. But I'm going to spray some green glow-in-the-dark powder coating in certain spots on the rims, like in the logo, in these little spots right here, and a couple other spots. And then I'm going to separate the frame from the car and powder coat the entire thing in a green glow-in-the-dark, and then put in underglow that is UV. So that way I can hit the button, turn it on, make it glow, and then just let it go. And it'll just sit there in ambient glow from that.
I love glow in the dark and I love shiny stuff.
This is the original straight 6 that's in here.
You mean
I just checked it the other day, and yeah, well, I mean, it's the whole thing. It's just all the hoses and stuff are rotten. It actually might still run. The guy said the last time he tried it was like 3 or 4 years ago, and it did fire up. But it's kind of crap. So
yeah.
But everything in here is going to get torn apart, powder coated, put back in, and I'm thinking LS2, LS3 swap.
Ooh.
So that way I could take it to the beach bend raceway and actually rip it down the track and have some fun with a fast pimp my ride car.
LS2 and LS3, as long as there's no LSD.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of mind-altering substances, but I'm not the Alf, so it's
fair.
If my dad was still alive, he would be asking you where you're at so he could come and help you do that.
I mean, I would take help because these older engines, they're cool, but I don't really understand them. I trained on the newer stuff. So
I know my dad's a mechanic as well. I know he'd love to get in on something like that.
My dad would be able to tear that engine apart and put it back together again blindfolded, because that was what he did.
Yeah, and see, for me, I trained on this one, and unfortunately, it's been sitting for a while because the transmission has an issue.
Yeah,
but this one, other than ignore all the dirt, but this one's nice and pretty, and it's fast, and it's got lots of upgrades, and even the K-frame down there has been powder coated in blue.
Yeah,
I've got sweet racing seats from an Evo 8.
Nice.
327.
That is pretty nice, man.
Chevy 327.
Mirror pod. So
Anyway,
okay, I'm done.
Speaking
I'm done
of-
hogging the stream. Go ahead and talk about something else.
Now-
speaking of mergers,
This is one of the reasons why gay Superman did not go over too well. If you can zoom in on it to see their signs, they're protesting while there's a Kraken behind them about to trash everything, and they're protesting and being activists. It was so stupid. And DC Comics put this out expecting people to like it and support it and go, oh, this is good. When you're an activist and you're that self-centered, you're not being a hero. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it
Now,
just
what strikes out the most to me is this sign right here. This one here that is very clearly misspelled.
school strike.
Where this purple hair right here.
Well, what did you
Clearly
expect them
never
to be
thought-
intelligent as well as being activists? 2 plus
Yeah.
2 equals chicken.
I mean, to me, it looks like the whole thing was made by AI.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't. The artist that does this would come to Heroes Con a lot, and they had a whole bunch of this poster there to sell, and it didn't sell.
I don't know.
You know, when you look at something like that, you just kind of pray for kryptonite rain.
Yeah, it's like I said. Oh man, the lefty lunacy was so bad. It caused several people to leave. Ethan Van Sciver was just one person that they ran off. Galen Talib, he worked on Superman for a very long time, and he's doing Big Man Comics right now, and he's actually working with Tyrus to do a comic book, which looks really good. He also worked with Dean Cain to do a comic. I've supported his work on Kickstarter and other crowdfunding to get his stuff started, and it's been really good. But amongst the stuff that they're talking about right now for Paramount, the Warner Brothers, they've announced their plans for HBO Max, CNN, the merging of Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon,
Which is
there's a whole lot of
something.
stuff.
Yeah, the Cartoon Network Nickelodeon one is what I wanted to discuss, though, because
Yes,
that hits incredibly close to home for me.
yeah,
I was actually discussing this with Rainbow before the stream.
Yeah.
And that Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon merging is the TV channel equivalent of Sega and Nintendo merging.
explain.
Cartoon Network, you know how Sega and Nintendo were bitter rivals back in the 80s?
Yes,
Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon have the same exact relationship. They were bitter rivals in the 90s and up into the 2000s.
Yes, but Cartoon Network was much superior. Nickelodeon was for younger kids.
Yes, Sega was also superior.
well,
Yes.
Nickelodeon during the day it was for kids. In the evening, it was the edgy stuff like Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
And Ren and Stimpy, I mean, original Ren and Stimpy was good.
Ren and Stimpy was Ren and Stimpy was wild even by back then standards.
Yes. And
Yes.
in some ways, Ren and Stimpy is why we ended up getting SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, I never
That's
thought
not
about
a
that.
good, that's not a good thing.
I knew. There's Shrubby. He says,
I can't stand SpongeBob.
Shrubby says,
Sup, Shrubby?
Bulls.
I'm not an asshole. I'm a piece of shit. Get it right.
Yep. Well, won't you go visit his asshole and see if it can go from exit only to other.
Whoa.
No, I only go one way. $20 is not just $20.
But anyway, yeah, I'm
But
looking
yeah.
at this stuff and
Shrubby said, Bruce, Richard.
hey man, I gotta give him hell because I was already giving him hell about the fact that his Danger Mouse drew his dwarf character and he says, he got the hair wrong, he's gotta fix it. And I'm like, yeah, it should have been hot pink. He got upset.
And then BOT curses, keep firing assholes. And I
Keep
think
firing, assholes!
Yep.
I
And
knew it. I'm surrounded
it's
by
already-
assholes.
It's supposed to be neon pink. I'm sorry. He is a dwarf after all. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they're going to have to do with consolidating Warner Brothers and Paramount. I mean, they've got to get rid of all their redundancies, and I'm just hoping that whenever they do get rid of the redundancies, they make sure they have gotten rid of all the DEI bullshit. Because that, to me, is one of the biggest problems is keeping them from making money and being profitable. And I just don't know, you know. I'm hoping this is going to work out good. I really am. But then again, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So there is that. But you have more to say about it, Wavo?
Well, I grew up with both channels.
Yeah.
At the beginning of my life, I watched Nickelodeon. I watched Ren and Stimpy. I watched Rocko's Modern Life, Cat Dog, things like that. I stopped watching Nickelodeon around the time Hey Arnold came around, and it was at that point I started watching Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Where I got exposed to a lot of the older stuff. Scooby-Doo, Roger Ramjet, Snaggletooth, and stuff like that.
A question for you. Are you millennial or are you Gen X?
I'm millennial. I was born in 1990, so I'm middle
I'm
to the
sorry.
end of the millennial era.
Yes, you're in there deep.
Yep.
You are in there deep. That's unfortunate for you.
I'm the old. I think I'm the old hand right here, right now. But hey, I look at it this way: it's a mindset, and the fact that he's here, he's doing good. That's all that matters. But yeah,
That's because Richard's still part of the greatest generation.
no, I'm not that old. I'm old, but not that old. So I was raised by, let's see, my great grandmother and my grandparents, who all lived through the Great Depression and World War II, and I was raised with that mindset. I mean, I love listening to big band music. The Glenn Miller Orchestra is still one of my favorite things. You just put on in the background and just listen to it. And
I love what Shrubby says. He says we should have the millennials born prior to 2000 declared out
as their
own
own
generation.
generation.
Our
Yeah.
own.
Our own
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah.
Silence, baby. You get nothing.
Yeah, because my baby sister was born in 83, 84, something like that. And she has more in common with my generation than she does with any other generation.
Talking about my generation.
And it's one of those things that really aggravates me is it also has to deal with where you grew up. I mean, when growing up on the mountain, we had that whole generational move of free range kid, a latchkey child that lasted into the 90s. And hell, I don't even think they've got a local school up on the mountain right now, except for I think an elementary school. Because hell, we didn't even have an elementary school really up on top of the mountain when I was there, and that was at Green Hill.
Yeah, no, it's still about 35 minutes, if not more, down the mountain to get to the closest where the kids went to school.
Yeah, and so yeah, it really does depend on where you grew up. Because a lot of
It also depends on how old your siblings and or the primary components of your life are. All of my siblings were considerably older, 4, 5, and 10, and I'm on the tail end of X because I'm 1980.
Yeah.
So I just barely scraped in there, but I spent a ton of time with my grandparents, and they were born around the time of the Great Depression, and so I have a lot of old school thinking and knowledge. They say that I'm a real fart smeller. I mean, smart fella.
Well, considering the fact we were raised with that mindset of it's better to have something and not need it than to need something and not have it. And you don't just throw something away because it's broke, especially if you can still fix it.
And this was the start of hoarding.
Yes. And
I might need this trash to burn to stay warm. Don't throw anything away.
Yep, that's the mindset.
It's just a little bit of mold. Just scrape it off and eat around it.
Yes. Oh God, that brings back memories of my granddad in the big wheel of cheddar cheese. And when I say a big wheel of cheddar cheese, I mean that wheel was big enough to put on a pickup truck.
Now I'm curious. You have to answer me this. Did you get to cut the cheese very often?
No, he refused to allow us with knives around that cheese. He did it himself because he's like, you cut your finger off if you don't do it right.
So he was the only one in the family that got to cut the cheese.
Yeah.
You poor babies.
Oh.
The jokes are really crappy coming from me, but they're consistently crappy.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
You can polish a turd all you want.
Parents are most common at 18 to 25. If my parents had done that instead of nearly a decade later, by rights, I would be a Gen X, period. And I mean, we consider you Gen X, Shrubby, with your attitude, so it's all good. But
No, we don't. You freaking baby. Cry about being a millennial.
I'll tell you this, Carlos. You can polish a turd all you want. It's still gonna be a turd.
That's right.
very much so. Now,
If it looks like if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's not a turd. It's a duck.
now, one of the things that really gets to me is the Cartoon Network ended up getting it on cable in 2000. That was one of the only reasons why we really got cable TV, was for 2 channels. And one of them was Cartoon Network.
I think you got ripped off if you paid for cable and you got 2 channels. I think you got ripped off.
No, I'm saying the only reason why I went through the process of getting cable when I moved out of my parents' house into the apartment with the woman who beat the living crap out of me, was so we could have 2 channels that we wanted to watch so damn bad. And
So Richard and his dominatrix got Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Actually, Cartoon Network first launched in October of '92.
Mm-hmm. And
sorry, that just gave me like the most crazy visual of Richard, some chick with a whip, like, and him standing over a cable box. Sorry.
Sticks and stones may break his bones, but whips and chains excite him.
Well, unfortunately, the way she beat the shit out of me was bald fist and just beating the crap out of me like I was a drum. But hey, gotta laugh at it or I'll cry. But
yes,
no, it was for the Sci-Fi Channel and the Cartoon Network. Those were the 2 big channels I wanted the most. Even paid extra so I could get Sci-Fi Network. And I'm looking at this, the Paramount Warner Brothers deal. After everything they went through for Warner Brothers and Discovery all to get bought, I'm just stunned that they're turning around and now allowing themselves to be bought by Paramount. The only thing I can think of was their debt really that bad?
it was bad. It was very bad. Hello, I'm Vagina. So it's called a hostile takeover. I'm going to pay your bills and call the shots, and I get to take possession of your shit. Not that shit, all your stuff. I don't want your shit. You can keep that in the septic tank. I want it. Shut up, Carlos.
Yeah, do the dance. Do the dance. I like the kitty.
And I completely derailed the show once again.
All
Damn
right.
it.
Now, our next story is the Florida woman, a 79-year-old Florida woman, giving a 1-year-old a meth-laced sippy cup.
That's horrible, but it's what I would expect from Florida. Normally, it's Florida man. That's usually how the news stories go. Florida man does so-and-so.
All right, Wavo, can you pull up the picture of this
Yep. Let me.
horrible woman? The fact that she's happy that she did it.
This.
What a bitch.
All right, everybody that's out there watching, brace yourselves because this is going to really mess you guys up.
This is her mugshot.
Oh.
This is her
And she's
mugshot.
smiling.
Yes. She she looks completely oblivious to the fact that she actually did something wrong. Now, hold on. This is the mugshots of the other 3 people involved. And then there's her. Notice the very stark difference there.
I mean, I see their family resemblance. They were all started at the top of the tree, the ugly tree, and they fell down and used their faces to cushion their fall on every branch on the way down.
The irony is the old lady here is the only one who looks halfway normal. The other 3 look like inbred rednecks.
That's because she's had much more time to really finalize the completion of her tolerance to meth. She started her life as Bethany. Now we call her Methany.
They look like the redneck family from Devil's Rejects.
What was bad is I was going to say it almost looks like our local news up here, but I'd totally be outing this.
I am wanting to take a PR-24 and shove it where the sun don't shine on all 4 of those sons of bitches.
In the prison pocket. Deep in the prison pocket.
Yep. And then take Carlos and shove him up in there too.
I told you I only go one way. $20 is not $20.
What'll he do? I wonder what he'll do for 25 though.
Then he'll definitely do it for 25.
No. This isn't Snow Dub. I don't do anything you want. What is it? Arby's? Arby's? Or no, there was a Burger King is your way right away. This isn't Burger King. Although I've got the crown for it.
The worst part of this whole story is even when the child was starting to get really sick, these monsters did absolutely nothing. They sought out even right here it states that the adults in that home failed to provide even the most basic level of care and protection.
So, that's just sad. And this happens, on a serious note, this happens way too much in our country.
Yeah.
Way too much. We see it all. I don't know how many times we would get, reports from the ER about something like this happening, or the kid gets into, candy or the whatever drug, thinking it's candy or thinking it's this or thinking it's that. And you're like, no, this really doesn't happen. But
it does.
It does.
Yep.
And the fucked up thing is when it's accidental like that, I can understand it. I don't like it. I understand it. But when it was purposely done like this, I am so upset. Problem is, even Chippy is like going, I ain't touching it. I ain't touching it.
Oh no, Chippy's game for all of that.
Again, I refer you to the mugshot of the proud 79-year-old woman.
What do you think?
I would think that would be a Chippy, yum yum, eat her up, spit her out.
Yeah.
I mean, what does she weigh? Like $1.20? That's 2.5 bags of fertilizer once it's ground up?
Probably.
Yep.
The best part though, I feel like Chippy would start eating her. Then he'd get to the drugs and the meth and he'd spit her out. No, I don't want any part of that. Bleh.
Nah, Chippy would be like, the best part of waking up is grinding up these fucks.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm fixing it. There we are.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, these chuckle nuts meat. Oh man, it just really pisses me off because you don't fuck with kids, man. And I'm like, some bitch. And it just royally. Ooh, I'm. That's one of those things where you literally do think of, why can't we be in comic book world where we can dress up in funky costumes and go beat the crap out of people like this? And then I realized,
I mean, you can, but you get away with it more if you do it in June.
yeah, that's true. All you gotta do is say, I'm fabulous, and be able to get away with it.
Yes. When they ask you your name, just say your name is Al. Big gay Al.
Oh.
Yes, but that would mean I would have to learn that stupid song, and I can't remember things like that.
I'm super. Thanks for asking. In my opinion, I'm fabulous. I'm a thing.
No. If you're gonna do the accent, do it right. I'm super. Thanks for asking. Oh my god, I did that a little too well.
I was getting a little scared over here.
All
I
right.
am so glad Tony wasn't here to see that, because he would be all over me right now.
Yeah. Now, this is one of those stories that just really, oh man, oh boy, that makes you want to stomp a hole in somebody's butt. That's big enough that Carlos could fit in it. Now, our last little bit we're going to touch on before we send everybody over to Tony is a mini deep dive into what's been going on in Iran. For those of you who don't know, we have blown up the Iranian Supreme Leader. Then we blew up the interim Iranian Supreme Leader. And we also blew up all the imams that showed up to elect a new Iranian Supreme Leader. And the people of Iran are cheering this, thanking us and thanking the Israeli people for setting the conditions where they can finally be free from the tyranny they have been suffering under for the past 47 years. For some people on our panel, that's their entire lifespan.
Mhm.
Am I not right?
That's pretty much every one of us,
Damn,
except for you because you're old.
y'all are babies, man. Damn.
We're keeping you young,
So-
Richard. Keeping you young.
Well, you're
So I have a question for you.
because you're only what, 9.5,
10 and a half.
10.5? Damn. Crazy. Chippy wants to have a word with you still. Damn.
So there's what, 10 million, estimated about 10 million people in Iran, right?
Yep.
How many of them are the Muslims that are in control of the Persians versus the Persians? Like how many, like what's the ratio?
It's less than 40% are Muslim. Less than 40%. I think it's like 34% are Muslim. Before the Iranian Islamic Revolution that overthrew the Shah, the country's three main religions was Zoroastrianism, Christianity,
Yeah, good luck saying that. You did good.
and Islam, with a very large Jewish minority that lived there. And Jimmy Carter, that dumb, ignorant, stupid son of a bitch,
who lived long enough to be the second worst president because he lived long enough to see Joe Biden fuck it up worse than he did.
yes, that idiot, the guy that used to be on the Five, the
Juan Williams?
no, the other one, the one that Juan Williams replaced.
Oh,
Hold on, give me a second. I'm looking this up right quick. Because when they came, it was right after they joined. Let's see, where is it at? Bob Beckel was his name. Okay, Bob Beckel was he actually worked the Carter administration in the State Department, and he actually admitted the fact that he was one of the people in the room that agreed with Jimmy Carter that they should convince France to allow the Ayatollah Khomeini to leave exile in France and go back to Iran. Because, oh, he's a holy man. He's not going to do anything like that. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
And we got what we got. All because of the dumbassery of the Carter administration. This is one of the
Richard,
reasons
you
why
know what I would love? What I would absolutely love to do on a totally separate, totally different stream is a deep dive into Carter. Because there's so many questions that I have, and I would actually personally love to know more. I really think that would be enjoyable.
Well, Friday, I am thinking about us doing a deep dive into Iran, and we can put that in there.
That would be great, because I absolutely love when you make those references to prior presidents that got us in the situation, that now we're trying to fix the situation.
Yeah.
So I think that might be really good for some of our younger listeners as well.
All right. Well, Friday we'll do it then. We'll do the deep dive into Iran, what brought us into it, because unfortunately it is because of the Carter administration. A lot of the problems that we have in the Middle East today can be laid at the feet of 3 American presidents. The latest one, other than Obama, was Jimmy Carter. Then the other big president that caused all the problems that we've got in the Middle East was a guy by the name of Woodrow fucking Wilson. Just so he could get his League of Nations passed, he allowed all kinds of stupidity to happen post World War I.
Hold on one second, Richard. Was that his birth middle name?
No, it's the one I gave him.
Oh, okay.
Because Woodrow Wilson was not a good person. This guy was the biggest racist to ever sit in the White House. Oh, this dude segregated the federal government and the military.
What about Andrew Jackson?
Nowhere near as racist as Woodrow Wilson.
Oh, okay.
Andrew Jackson actually adopted non-white children into his family and loved and adored them.
Oh, okay.
I know a little bit about Andrew Jackson because I live in Waxhaw, which is his birthplace. And a lot of people think he was like a super, super duper racist because of some of the policies that he had that very negatively affected minority groups, especially the Cherokee, which only he could have pulled it off because he was so respected by the American Indians at the time. That'd be another deep dive if I ever get everything together to do it. But that'd be me going back to me wanting to have been a history teacher. But no, Jimmy Carter, his actions during his tenure as president set this stage. And the fact that the Iranian regime funded Muslim extremist movements all across the planet. The only place that comes close to the amount of funding is the Wahhabists that operate in Saudi Arabia. And yeah, it's not cool. But yeah, we'll do a deep dive on this on Friday. That way we can go in depth into it, talk about the how it used to be Persia until a funny mustache man painter guy from Austria visited the area, had a nice long talk with some of the leadership there, and told them that they should change the name from Persia to Iran because Iran meant the land of the Arans. And you guys do know who I'm referring to when I say funny mustache man, house painter from Austria, right?
Yep.
Yes, Schittler.
Yeah. It was because of him that they changed it. And it's also because of this that the Allies invaded and occupied the country during the first half of World War II and divided it between the North and the South, with the North being occupied by the Soviet Union and the South by, I think it was the British that occupied it. And the fact that we had overthrew the then Shah and put a puppet in for a while. It all kinds of crazy stuff that went on during World War II. We'll touch on that on Friday during the deep dive. I just want to say thank you guys for coming. Please, Wavo, can you repost the Casey Carrot link again?
Gotcha. Boom.
That way,
And
everybody
let me give it one last check here to see where we're at the moment.
Yep.
Holy crap, Tony's been busy.
What do we got?
So the last notice we were at $1,200.
Yes.
Over the last 45 minutes, we have hit, get this, $2,235.
Wow.
Somebody made
Golf clap. Golf clap.
somebody by the name of Philip J. Fry made a $1,000 donation saying, "Shut up and take my money."
Awesome.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I refreshed it expecting maybe 1,500 or something like that. I'm like, no, that says freaking 2,000. I'm like, holy crap.
That is good.
Now you had Tony playing in the background earlier, and he said something about Doomcock possibly popping in. I bet you it's because of that.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we're cutting. Instead of doing our usual 2 hours, we're only doing an hour, and we're already over the hour. So, everybody, let's go out there and be a positive change in the world. Go ahead and go over to Tony's channel and give Casey the support he deserves. Tell him you love him. And let's all remember, we're not alone in this. We're all in this together. And the only way we can make this world a better place is by going out there and actually doing it. And this is one of the ways to do it. Let's be there to support our brother. Let's make this world a better place. And never, ever think you're alone, because you're not. And you are most definitely loved. Even if it is by me.